to be talking now about keeping your head in the game, why support groups are so important. Now, everything in life revolves around food. I got a house full of company coming next weekend because it's Memorial Day, and they come for the Mass, and then they come for the watchfire, of which I plan on December 31st, I said to Bob, I'm going to have a few drinks at the watchfire. I planned my drinks almost 6 months in advance. I haven't had any drinks. Now, I didn't say I'm going to get rip-roaring drunk at the watchfire like I might have done last year. I'm sorry. What it was I was giving shots to all the veterans, and I had to have a shot with them. So this year I will give one of my World War II buddies liberated I can't tell you how much cognac from the French when he broke it, and he shipped it home. You could ship home things, and every year he gives me some to give to the vets. So this year I'm going to be unselfish and give all the shots to the vets, but I might have a couple drinks. So I have a house full of company. What's the first thing you think of? What are we going to eat? What are they going to eat? Now, does that mean because you've got company, because it's a party, you go, oh, pray it off's out the window. To heck with pray it off. I'm going to eat whatever I want. You might say that a couple of times a year, but if you say it a couple of times a week, that's where we get in trouble. We need to plan our social and family events around. Look what I did. I'm going to drink, and I planned it 6 months in advance. How's that for planning? I'm going to have some drinks on May 30th. That's planning. Now, if I said to myself, I'm going to have some drinks on May 30th and I'm going to have chips every week and da-da-da, that's when you get in trouble. You have to come every week to get your head in the game. At Alcoholics Anonymous, they have to get themselves to a meeting because they're never cured. I don't know about you, but I know for a fact that I will never be cured. I know that. I know because my first impulse, even now, is to go, I can't believe this is happening. Maybe if I just have one serving of the Lay's Ruffles with all that salt. My first impulse is to go to the food. What I have now as a weapon is that I try to pray unceasingly. I didn't do that before. I thought you could go to church 45 minutes a week, pray, pray a couple times. Oh God, I love you, help me. We need to be focused on God. Also, if we think about it, I joked a little bit about how losing weight isn't contagious. It kind of is. Kind of is. That's why I do the awards. When people get awards that you go, what? Ellen, she's losing weight. Well, why can't I? What? Shay, she's losing weight. Why can't I? There's a little bit of osmosis. We prove it can be done. We prove. Wait a minute, Maureen Brown won the greenback? Maybe I'll win the greenback next year. It proves it can be done. Also, accountability. The group gives you accountability. There's that word again. Accountability. When you don't fill out the logs when you have 3 days, I said to Kristen, she's far too young to remember this. Does anyone remember Ray Milland in The Lost Weekend? I mean, even I'm a little young for it, but it was one of our favorite movies because he got so drunk that the whole weekend was gone. Did you ever do that, eat so much? I mean, I've had people say, I couldn't write it down because there was so much. That's when it's dangerous. Okay. Also, we are in a group full of people who share the same basic values as us. We're Catholic, we're Christian, most of us are very involved in the church, and we have a problem with food. I know there's people in this group that would give you the shirt off their back. I love the people in this group. We can do this together. And you might say, Ellen, you're such a cheerleader. You're so rah-rah. Now, what kind of a facilitator would I be if I go, I don't think we're going to do this. What the heck are we doing here? Let's go. Let's go over to Taco Bell and get some burritos. So you can say I'm a cheerleader, but that's my J-O-B. Okay. Also, I love exploring our weight problem. Like if someone will say, I had a bad week, I'm like, what happened? Tell me all about it. And sometimes people are afraid to tell me because they're afraid their bad week doesn't rate high enough in the bad week meter. You know, like death in the family, bad week, you know, loss of a job, bad week, pet dying, I'll give you that, bad week. You know, if you're just a little hot, doesn't count. That's not a bad week. Even if your air conditioner doesn't work, not really a bad week. I'm not going to give you that. So they're a little afraid, oh, I don't want to go into it. You know what that means? It wasn't that bad. Because if it was really bad, they'd say. So remember that. Find and explore those reasons. One of the reasons that I'll give you is you just don't feel like it. I just don't want to lose weight because it's so much effort. You know what? It really isn't. You eat a little less, you move a little more. It's really not that big a deal. You pass up on a donut, oh my gosh, you survive. I think we're making it out to be bigger than it is. Bigger than it is. Okay, also, we have to realize that Pray It Off is not a substitute for counseling. If you need counseling, and I advocate it, I believe in it. If you've got big, huge problems that are leading you to eat food, pay somebody. They will just listen to you. You are the center of their universe for that 30 bucks an hour or whatever it is. Pay somebody, go. Because just remember, this is just an hour group. We can't solve all of the problems. One of the things also is peer-led support groups. I'm going to push, and you'll find out why, the small group a little bit more in the coming up weeks. One of the things we're going to talk about tonight is how the small groups can support each other. Also, the support groups that we're in keeps us what? Accountable. We write it, we log it, we're accountable. That's very important. Okay, Bob.